this. I can already tell that Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves will probably be this year's biggest and most pleasant surprise, at least for me. I haven't heard a single person that's seen it, the few people that have seen it, say anything bad about it or negative in any way. I only hear whispers of it online and people liking it and claiming it to be the reason why these types of movies are just doomed. It's the big fun fantasy film with actors we all know and love. Surprise, not a hit. Film of the year. The trailers, I feel like, did not do it justice. It really made it look like out to be just another fantasy film. I had no idea who the writer-directors were. I would have looked forward to it a lot more because I did see it in theaters, which I'll get to here. So yeah, I ended up seeing Dungeons and Dragons kind of on a whim. I saw it at a AMC week early fan screening or whatever. It was just one of those theater experiences that you're gonna remember because it was so much fun. I mean, everybody in the theater wanted to be there. It was packed, for one thing. It was like, I don't think there was a single seat open. Everyone was there to either because they were fans of Dungeons and Dragons, which I'm sure there's a few of them out there. I've never met anybody. Or maybe they're just fans of fantasy films or just fans of Chris Pine or the cast. Who knows why everybody was just there, or just they had a Sunday afternoon. The guy next to me sure had a grand old time, just belting out laughter at every joke. I mean, this film is just layered with jokes, so you're laughing every few minutes, I'd say. But he's just gut-busting laughter at everything. It made the experience better, I will say, because it's just being in a theater with a lot of other people. Even if you're not fully feeling that emotion, at least for me, a lot of times it rubs off onto you. Like if you can tell it's just a heavy film and everybody's just dead quiet, you're dead quiet too, because you don't want to add to that the noise of the theater. At least you'd hope. Some people are just inconsiderate. And so yeah, this was made by the Game Night people, as they're known, the Jonathan brothers. Which, let me get their actual name. Here. They're like the Daniels brothers. Yeah. Okay. John and Jonathan. So maybe the John boys. The John boys. John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. Which John Francis Daly was in Freaks and Geeks as a little kid. He's all grown up now because that was 20 years ago. But yeah, so it's those guys. And if you haven't seen Game Night, that's just one of the most economically timed comedic masterpieces of this century. So yeah, if I would have known that going in, I would have looked forward to a lot more. But they did not use their likeness at all, which was interesting. Maybe, I don't know, I feel like maybe not everybody knows about Game Night, but it still would have been kind of like one of those title cards in the trailers. It's like from the minds that brought you Game Night, and then everybody went like, Game Night? What was Game Night? It's so frustrating. That good movies like this and Game Night just don't get out into the zeitgeist anymore. And then you like hear about them online on Twitter or something. Like some guys like, remember how good this was? And they're like, yeah, I remember, just nobody else is talking about it. At least nobody's talking about it in droves. But in case Dungeons and Dragons, I think the magic here isn't your typical wishy-washy vague spells, that we've seen so much now. I mean, I have no idea how much they're actually pulling from the board game or whatever game, role-playing game. I don't know what you call it. I'm not a nerd. I'm assuming they're just pulling everything from there, actually. But that's probably why it doesn't feel like the same force push or like lightning fingers or whatever magic in cinema has been diluted to these days. Everything comes together for that on the road heist sequence. It's an amazing scene. It's electric and engaging. All of the motors just working. Every character is utilized. Every character has their part to play. And the effects are pretty great. And then there's that really cool shot that, again, talking about theaters and trailers. I don't know why I keep talking about theaters and trailers. There's that shot that we all saw in the trailer, the spinning, she's upside down, and she goes inside out. That made no sense in the trailer. I have no idea what's going on. They've got the portal thing I completely forgot what it's called. I'll insert the name. I'll have Justice Smith say that here. Oh wow, that didn't come out of my mouth very well.
It's a hither stuff.
What?
That one hot guy from the British show. I don't have any. I just have common names. I'm the tall, dark, and handsome man. He starts out kind of like Michelle Rodriguez's character, which I loved her in this too. She's sort of like Drax, where she doesn't know sarcasm. Sarcasm, she takes everything literally. But she has that soft side to her, you know. She's nice. She's nice. But I think it works a little bit better here. And maybe the character of Drax might just be wearing off. Regé-Jean Page, there's his name, plays a paladin. I guess literally a paladin is just a knight in shining armor, which makes sense. But yeah, his character, Regé-Jean, I don't know. He doesn't understand humor either, but it's like he plays the epitome of like the perfect knight in shining armor, which I guess that is what a paladin is. But he's just devoid of logic, which is hilarious. Because I'm still thinking about that straight line that he's walking in. I was afraid that the Smith kid, Justice Smith, I was afraid he was just going to be another British bugger guy that just always sad, and he's very sad and says how much of a loser he is in every scene. And that's what it looked like from the trailers. Again, the trailers for this I don't think were good at all. But he really works here. He's a lovable loser, you know. Instead of just drawing sympathy, he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad. I'm such a loser. I can't do magic right, and I can't get any girls. I'm just gonna, yeah." It just worked, you know. I don't know how else to describe it. You got to see the film. Watch the goddamn film. This is what the whole thing was about. Watch the film. It's good. And this is probably a carryover from the game too, but I just love how creepy that the film can get. I mean, we are literally dealing with demons here, right? So it should scare you. But I don't know. I think this is the reason that there are no other movies besides popular IP ideas these days. I don't even need to list off. You already know what I'm talking about, which IPs I'm talking about. But supposedly, there's a possibility of a sequel. The budget will have to be down significantly from the first, because I don't think the first movie technically broke even at the box office. They might not have even cleared the red. I don't know. I don't have the numbers on me. Watch Dan Merle for that, which is sad, because it's a delightful, funny film. Like truly, Pine doesn't know how not to put forth effort, but it never looks like he's trying too hard. You know, he's just one of those last purely charismatic actors. Fantasy films are still a gamble anyway these days, and I understand that. I think most people agree that the Lord of the Rings films were peak fantasy, and studios have been trying to cash in on that for the last 20 years now. So I'm going to briefly just cover some spoilers in the film, just because it covers stuff that, you know, it's spoiler to the story, to the film, to the characters, and what happens. Watch the film, please. Leave right now, and then go watch the film. See if it's on anything. I don't know why I need to tell you where to go stream it at, but it's on Paramount Plus right now. You can also get the Blu-ray like I did. Physical media is always reign supreme. For some reason, people are just now realizing that it's a better picture, better quality audio, all the above than streaming. When Holga dies in the end, is a testament to the writing and how well it works. The crew of merry men of Chris Pine and Justice Smith and the girl from It and Michelle Rodriguez, they're finished fighting off the Red Witch, and they cap it off with a little joke. And the John brothers, the John boys, have brought us to the very tip of the roller coaster of this film. They've triumphed. The audience is overjoyed at the victory, and they're laughing, and just it's a triumphant moment of pure bliss, pure joy. And in an instant, seeing Olga with that blade through her chest, which has already been set up to be unsurvivable, it's it's an audible gasp kind of moment. It was such a shock. I remember people actually gasping in the theater, and people don't gasp at moments like this. You know, you hear people laughing or talking, and that's what. But you know, you rarely hear people just involuntarily exclaim, "No, no," or that. And right away, you feel your heart just dwindling. No. It's like just
I need you.
In your chest suffocating, and your eyes watering, and you're like, why the hell am I crying? Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. And you're just like, I actually cared about the characters. That's why it's an emotional. It's a beautiful moment when the flashbacks all culminated into Chris Pine's character about his wife, about his daughter, the motif of the butterfly trying to get out, moving on. It's well acted by everyone. I mean, and it just really nails the ending, and it makes us want to see more. Make another Dungeons and Dragons movie, okay? That was pretty crazy. So yeah, I'll say it again, because I don't think I've mentioned it before, but watch Dungeons and Dragons. Even if you just like fantasy films, watch it. Like, do you need any more reason, I guess? It's a good film, it's funny. It's the big budget, good film that we don't get anymore. It's not copy and paste like others. Watch it, form your own opinion. I don't want to sound like Carson Runquist. Watch it and come to your own conclusion. This is a little bit different, a little setup here. I don't know. This has been Andrew, so see you. Put that on up, but yeah. It's rack focus, so.